Guys, if you watch this entire video, you'll learn how to get your license in 2 weeks. That's right, 2 weeks. So you're thinking or you've decided that you want to become a real estate agent. Maybe you're deciding because you want the financial freedom, the flexibility on your work hours, or a combination of both. In this video, we're going to cover how to locate and find the best schools to take your course in. We're going to cover how to prepare for the exam, how much is the exam going to cost, and what to do after you pass the exam. So let's go. So you've decided to become a real estate agent. Maybe it's for the flexible hours, maybe the financial freedom. Whatever the reason is, you're going to have to start by finding the appropriate school to get your accreditation. Here's why it's so important to pick a proper and the best fitting school for you. Because most of the time, the instructor is going to be the one that's going to determine if you pass or fail that real estate exam. So you're probably wondering where to even go look for a school. You're gonna have to go on your local website, in your county website, to go search for schools that are affiliated with the state licensing for your real estate exam. Once you do that, what I would recommend is that you go out and give these schools a call, or even visit a few of them if you're local. Get to meet the instructor, see what their philosophy is and how they teach, and how they can help you prepare for the exam. When you have selected a school, you're going to have to decide, do you want to take the accelerated program, which is roughly 2 weeks, or do you want to take the nightly class? Some schools offer the night program, some don't. You're gonna have to figure out and select what best fits you. Me personally, I took the evening class because I was working a full-time job at the time, and I also had a family with kids that I had to take care of. If you have the opportunity to take the 2-week class, take it, because you'll retain more of the information and it'll put you right in the swing of taking that exam. Listen closely. I have a real secret that I want to share with you. Here's why picking the right school with the right instructor is important. Sometimes the instructor has previous exam versions that you can study off of for the test. Now, I didn't say that, nor did you hear me say that. So next, after you've completed the school, you got to take the exam. You're probably wondering, well, how do I prepare for this exam? It's so much information in such little time. How am I going to possibly pass this exam? The best way is common sense. No, seriously, common sense. A lot of the questions that you're going to get asked on the exam are about ethics and morality. Now, there are obviously questions related to the book, and that goes without saying. But if you utilize the vocabulary words that are in the book, start memorizing those, along with asking the teacher for help, I assure you that you'll be able to pass your real estate exam. Now, here's some ways that I studied for the exam. I made flashcards of the vocabulary words and studied off of those. Another important thing that really helped was I constantly engaged in class. I always asked questions and I always tried to answer the best I could. Why? Because it put me on the spot, so I had to be paying attention. And secondly, it allowed me to retain more by engagement. Now, yes, some of you may be introverts and you may not want to ask questions or raise your hand, whatever the case may be. But you have to put that aside. You have to focus on what's important. And what's important is that you want to get this real estate license. So for a short while, put your introvert side away and become extrovert. I promise you, it will help you so greatly by engaging in class. And again, this goes without saying, your teacher by far will be your biggest ally. So don't be afraid when you're looking at these schools to ask tough questions. How do they educate? How do they teach? How do they help you prepare for the exam? Check this out. Some teachers will even stay after class to help you out. And those are the teachers that you'll find have a true passion for teaching. I guess after all this is said and done, you've picked your school. Now you got an idea of how to study for the exam. But what is all this going to cost me? Fair question, right? You got to know what it's going to cost before you get into it. A school roughly costs anywhere from $300 to $400. Depends where you are. Don't hold my feet to the fire. It varies. That's about the ballpark range that you're going to expect to pay to go to a real estate school. Along with that, you're going to have exam fees. Now, me personally, when I took the exam in the state of New Jersey, it cost me about $77, if I'm not mistaken. So all in, I was about $477, $500 somewhere in there with respect to the cost that was associated with getting my real estate license. That's your average cost. Again, anywhere between $400 to $500. Again, double check with your schools what their enrollment cost is and what your county's cost is for the state exam for your real estate license. Once you've passed your real estate license, congratulations, you did it, right? You have to find a brokerage to put your license at so that you can practice being a real estate agent. You cannot be a real estate agent if your license is not with a brokerage. I know, you're probably wondering and wanting to know, how do I select the brokerage? Well, great. That's what I'm going to share with you next. In selecting a brokerage, there are some few important things that you want to consider. And I'm going to go over that right now for you so that you're not caught off guard and you know exactly what to ask and what to anticipate. Before I get into those questions to ask and things to be aware of, there's a very important process in finding a broker. I know most of the time when we go for an interview for a job, we are the ones getting interviewed. However, when you're selecting a broker, you are interviewing the broker. You are in the driver's seat. They need you to come in, buy and sell houses so that they can make some money. So remember, you are in the driver's seat. You are in control and you decide where to put your license with what brokerage. So I'm going to go over some questions that you should ask your potential broker when you're interviewing them. What type of and what kind of training do you provide? Guys, I know you got your real estate license and you want to help people buy and sell houses, or maybe you want to buy and sell houses for yourself. It's important to know that when you enter the real estate game, you have entered a game of sales and marketing. And you need to ask your broker how often and what type of training are they going to provide to you. Because if they provide no training, well, guess what? How successful do you think you're going to be? You're going to have to do a lot of figuring out by yourself. And that's the last thing you want to do. Next important question that you want to ask your broker that you're interviewing: what are the commission splits? Listen, at the end of the day, you're in this game to get paid. You want to make money, right? We started off when we talked about financial freedom, financial legacy, flexibility in your hours. Well, you can't have flexibility if you don't have any money. Right? You're always constantly in that hamster wheel running around. So again, commission splits are important. So how do commission splits work? Most people think that, okay, national average on commissions is 6%. But that's being split between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, depending on what side of the transaction you're representing. So now, let's say you represent the seller's side. So you get 3% of, let's say, $100,000 sale price. So 3% of $100,000 sale price is $3,000. Well, guess what? You are probably thinking all that $3,000 goes into your pocket. That check is not made out to you at closing. It's made out to your brokerage. Now, whatever commission splits you have set up with your broker, that $3,000 is going to be split accordingly. So let's just assume you have a 50-50 split. So when that $3,000 check hits the broker's account, guess how much they're going to give to you? $1,500. So make sure you negotiate higher commission for yourself. I started off in the business at 65-35. Then about a year later, I worked myself up to 70-30. Listen, you can do better than that. I'm not saying that's the best you can do. That was at that time the best I could do. I've seen some agents go to 95-5. Some brokerages don't even have commission splits. You just pay a fee to the brokerage, and everything else after that is all yours to keep. So be mindful of your commission splits when you're negotiating that with the broker. If you don't like it with a specific broker, guess what? You don't have to put your license with that broker. So interview plenty of brokers and really get a sense of feel for what best fits you. Another important question to ask during the interviewing of your broker is, does the office have fees? So sometimes what will happen is the broker's office will have fees. For example, supplies, printing, paper. Sometimes you'll have desk fees so that you can sit and work. These are all things you want to know so that you are aware of any monthly costs that's going to be incurred by you. Here's another really important question to ask your broker. Will you be providing me buyer and or seller lead. This is so important because you can end up spending thousands of dollars a month for potential buyer or seller leads. Now, if the broker is already engaged in that type of marketing, he or she is simply looking for an agent to come in and work those leads, that is a phenomenal setting to be in because it takes away a lot of the stress of where and how you're going to get leads. All you are going to have to focus on is managing and caring after those leads. Again, a super important question. Will you provide buyer or seller leads? So guys, these are just a few of the top questions that I've asked when I've interviewed brokers. I'm sure there's plenty more that you can think of. Please do not hesitate to ask those questions because at the end of the day, this has to be the most important thing to you. If this is a journey that you're going to go down on, by all means, ask as many questions as you need to feel comfortable. Now, that's not a size fit all type of box. Some of you may have friends or family that are brokers and you already decided to join them, which is perfectly fine. But again, at least interview 3 brokers so you get a sense of where each of those are and what's going to best fit for you. So guys, there you go. There you go. You have all the necessary details. We covered how to find a school, how to prepare for the exam, how much is it going to cost, and how to even find your broker so that you can hang your license once you pass that exam. Guys, if there's anything else that you need help with, or if there's another topic that you need me to cover, comment below and I'll make sure I respond back to you. Again, smash that subscribe button for more notifications on videos as they come out. And please, obviously it helps me a lot, hit the like button. God bless you guys. Go crush it. I'll see you next time. Do you hear something?